let's take a look at how taking care of yourself can help you take care of those exam results. Think of yourself like a sim. You need to treat yourself exactly like a sim. Now, the Sims game is where you have control over a collection of people and you have control over their needs, just like you have control over your needs. Things such as hunger, comfort, bladder and energy, your fun and social time, your hygiene and environment. We need to find a nice mixture of all of these things in order to be healthy, fit and well. We're going to focus on just a couple of these things that are going to help you in order to be successful in your examination, to be able to give it your very best shot. And nothing that we're going to talk about here today actually has anything to do with revision or your exam itself. First up, let's talk sleep. Now, you know how many hours of sleep you get. You'll know whether that's enough for you or not enough for you. You'll know whether you struggle to get up in the morning. Maybe you struggle to get to sleep at night. Sleep is absolutely integral in you being able to successfully pass your exams. Now, if you're in a situation at the moment where your sleep pattern is all over the place, you have time. Today, the day that I'm recording this video, Monday the 26th of October, you have time today to fix this in time for your examinations that start next week. As a guide, anyone between the ages of 12 to 18 need to have around 8.5 to 9.5 hours worth of sleep. Now, you might look at that and you might get that much sleep, but is it that you go to bed quite late and get up later? Your exam itself starts at 9:30. We want you to be there for 9 o'clock. You know yourself how long it takes you to get ready, how long it takes you to get into a college. On average, if you were getting up at 7 o'clock every morning, then you're going to need to be in bed for around about 10:30, 11 o'clock in order to get that sleep that your body needs. So you need to start thinking now, how can I make this work? A few tips for you, because sleep is integral to your brain being switched on. A few tips that you can use are to maybe use some lavender essence on your pillow to help you get to sleep. You could buy that in supermarkets or in chemists and pharmacies. Maybe read a book in bed. Reading really helps me go to sleep. And in fact, even during the day, sometimes when I read, my eyes get quite sleepy and I end up needing to wear my glasses. But particularly if you read a book that you really like, it's just kind of sod's law that you'll definitely fall asleep instead of being able to read and enjoy it. You might like watching the TV. Pop your TV on to help you fall asleep if that's what works for you. You do, however, need to start getting up earlier. Maybe do a sunrise. The sunrise along our coastline in the northeast at the moment are phenomenal. The sun is really low. It's coming up a little later than sort of the 3, 4, 5 o'clock of the summer. But just switching around that body clock and going to see the sunrise first thing on a morning will help you to fall asleep earlier on a night time. I find that when I get up really early, ridiculously early one morning, that one day I feel like I've got jet lag. I feel very tired throughout the day. So there's no point in on the day of my exam waking up at sort of 5, 6 o'clock and trying to shift my body clock around then, because by the time I'm doing my exam, I'll be shattered. This needs to happen now. Switch that body clock around. Get that sleep that you need for your brain to be able to work. The brain and the sleep is amazing. Sleep and helps to overcome any emotional difficulties you've had the day before. Have you ever heard the phrase, just sleep on it? If you have a problem and you sleep, then you tend to wake up with a bit of a clearer mind. All right, sleep is so important. And if you are not getting enough sleep, or if you are not getting the sleep at the right time, then that is going to negatively impact your examinations. So think about that. think about how you can change your sleep pattern right now so that by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, it's fixed and it's sorted. The next thing I want to talk to you about is your breakfast. Now, a lot of us might not have breakfast. A lot of us might maybe have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea on a morning. We might kind of wait till lunchtime, or we might do something called brunch, where around 10, 11 o'clock we have a little snack because we're hungry by then. We might not be hungry at breakfast time. But it's 7 o'clock in the morning when you wake up and you think, I'm not hungry, or you maybe never eat breakfast, or you think, I'll grab something later. We're all guilty of this. Everybody is guilty of this. But especially in the run up to your exams next week, this needs to change now as well. Think about that sim. Think about its energy. You need to keep its energy up all of the time in order for it to be fit and healthy. By the time we get to 10 o'clock in the morning, if you haven't had anything for breakfast, you're probably thinking, I'm absolutely starving. What time's break? Your body will send signals to your brain to not be able to focus. You might think to yourself, oh, I give up. I'm not in the right frame of mind. I can't do it. My body feels absolutely starving. All I can think about is food. You're not going to necessarily be thinking about that equation for maths, or you're not necessarily going to be thinking about what the impact of a writer's use of language and structure is. You're going to be thinking about food. Now, at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're only half an hour into that exam. What impact is that going to have on your results? But imagine if you do eat and you don't get hungry by 10 o'clock, the positive impact that's going to have is that you can continue being focused on the task at hand. Whatever you do not have an energy drink. If you have energy drinks now, stop. Wean yourself off them. Stop having them on a morning. If you need to have them on an afternoon, then that's that. But stop having them on a morning. If you have an energy drink prior to going into the exam, it will keep you active for around about an hour. But in an exam that takes 1 hour 45 minutes, what's the impact of that additional 45 minutes? Especially if that's the part of your exam that holds half of the marks, which in English it does. You're going to crash and burn. Please do not take any energy drinks on the morning of your examination. And if it's something that you do already, then you need to start weaning yourself off them. Your heart rate pulsates. Health-wise, physically health-wise, energy drinks are not good for us. And I don't say this as a to be a miserable old woman, all right, but genuinely, they do not help you. They don't help you physically. They do not help you mentally. And all it will do is crash and burn after or up to at least an hour. So do not drink any energy drinks on the morning of your exam. What you could do instead, however, is have some breakfast. You could do one of two things. You could either have a huge breakfast before you leave for college, all right? Get your parents up, get your family up, get your carers up, whoever it is that's in your household, sit and have a lovely, big, massive breakfast. If you can't do that, or you can't stomach that early on, why not have something just small? But take a little breakfast snack as well, such as a piece of fruit, such as a breakfast bar. That way you could maybe have your cereal at home, get to college, and you, in the half hour before you would ordinarily feel hungry, you kind of you lock that hunger up. I can't remember what advert that's off, but you lock that hunger up by having an additional piece of breakfast, something small, just to tide you over. Think about the kind of things that you're eating as well. Bananas are a slow release energy. So having a banana just prior to going into your exam is going to mean that you are filled with energy throughout your entire exam, and the physicality of your body is not something you're going to have to worry about. All you have to worry about is what's in front of you on that paper. Maybe have a large breakfast and a small snack. Your mind will not work if your body doesn't. So think about it. Think about yourself like a sim. You need to have your sleep. You need to have your breakfast. You need to keep your energy up. And if you don't do those things, you are already walking into that exam at a disadvantage. Thank you for your time.